So I think I had a bit of a missed opportunity thing because I've kind of done different things for my minor, but this year originally when I was applying for university, I really wanted to do kind of psychology and philosophy, like psychology, philosophy, and linguistics, some kind of combination like this. Oxford has like a triple degree, which I interviewed for. But I didn't actually do any linguistics at UCL until this year. And I finally did a module because we found out that it actually did count for my quantitative science requirement. I'm so mad that I didn't do it before because I've enjoyed it a lot. But yeah, that's kind of, another thing that the old interest. But yeah, I've done a psychology module, which I did environmental sociology. Something that was also minor adjacent for me was health, migration and health, which I think was my BASc elective in second year, which is really, that was a really good module as well, and it's kind of influenced my dissertation as well, and kind of my future research interests. And yeah, I think that for me, again, it's kind of the element of like studying people. So that's how I try to incorporate my minor into it. But I think, yeah, I should have like gone less literature study and maybe looked more towards kind of like linguistics, not even necessarily social linguistics, but yeah, doing the more technical stuff, which is still good.
I think it's one of those things where you don't really see where you're going until you look back on it. So some Baskers, they have a very set pathway in mind. They know what they're going to be doing, like certain modules they're going to be doing. I entered first year knowing nothing, and I was just kind of like, oh yeah, eating, meeny, miny, mo, choosing my own juice, And I think looking back, it's kind of like, oh, this thing made me discover that I was interested in, like cultural studies. This thing gave me a good idea of what like a campaign would look like. This other thing, gave me a lot of like just understanding like, like linguistics and, culture, language and ideology, stuff like that. So I think it's more like the little skills that they give you, or like the little pieces of knowledge that you find out that you really do love, that kind of like sparks your ambition. And then you find yourself like in a place you wouldn't have been without BASc, but you just don't know like what part of it comes from where, but you do know it's because of, like all those things you've done.
Yeah, at a certain point you find yourself kind of imbibing certain mindsets from like having studied different things. Yeah, I say that I'm kind of, back at the point where it was when I kind of, before I started BASc, I'm still retreating to my society's nature. But I'm thinking of kind of, going into like policy work and some kind of thing like that, international policy. So that's what I'm kind of applying for a master's and looking for work. But again, with this kind of expanded understanding that doing cultures has given me, which I think is really valuable.
I'm still doing the best thing. I'm just kind of trying everything until I find something that I do love. I think for now, I might go to something like marketing HR, where I can like have that little like spark of creativity and like slightly bit of just having the space to do whatever you want. I realized I did really like that because when I was doing like my modules where I was like less constrained, I was way happier doing those. And it was a lot of like, like the modules I mentioned, like race, gender, feminism, a lot of like, what else is there? Yeah, cultural studies, I guess, creative writing. All those modules would be like the ones that I enjoyed the most were the ones where it was like very much geared towards understanding a culture, unpacking it, and then reproducing it in some sort of way. So I really like those. So probably that's where I'm going to head.